Ninjago was a typical example of a kid's theme. The thing that differentiates it though is that it was never cancelled, and next year will mark its 15th anniversary, so obviously the OG fans who grew up watching the pilots are now going to be well into their 20s, and to retain those fans, Ninjago can no longer be the same show. And thus the question has to be asked, what happens when a kid's theme has to grow up? Well, apart from the show, I believe there's one set that fully kicked off this trend. And no, it's not the Legend sets, this was before that. But, I mean, it's important to note this is a process that's been going on for many years with many sets. So, in this video, I'm gonna go over some of these sets which I fully believe represent Ninjago as a theme growing up. This journey begins with the first D2C Ninjago set we ever got, the Temple of Air Jutsu. At the time, this set was a massive jump for Ninjago. Ninjago was still pretty much only a kid's theme. Most of the sets we got were under $70, and even at that, most sets were like $20, $30, you know, those typical ninja vehicles, dragons, all that good stuff. Also those like $10 spinners, I guess. But this set was like LEGO's first peek into this whole brand new avenue of marketing and making sets towards adults. Not only was this set kind of revolutionary, it was also fantastic. I mean, this set is a fan favorite among Ninjago fans because it looks fantastic. It comes with a great selection of minifigures. You get all of the Possession Ninja, which means this set is pretty much like an all-in-one package. It comes with everything that an adult would possibly want from Ninjago Possession. This set showed just how far Ninjago could go, with breathtaking builds that were pretty much comparable to UCS sets, and good minifigures to boot. So is this the set that I'm talking about? The one that, you know, showed Ninjago's transition away from being an only kids theme? Well, no, not really in my opinion, because this set, don't get me wrong, it was a start, but it felt more of like a one-time thing. I mean, yes, we did get a beautiful build that was mainly aimed towards adults with a $200 price tag, but the waves after this set didn't really show that change. I mean, we went back to more just kids themed sets with $10, $20 sets, and this set felt more like a one-time gift from LEGO to Ninjago fans, rather than an actual pivot into a more adult-friendly theme. Another set that we need to talk about is the super famous Ninjago City set, and this set was absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's not really anything like we've gotten in Ninjago before. Even with terrain builds, most Ninjago terrain builds that we get are like pagodas or temples or like monasteries or something like that. But no, this is like a full-on metropolitan city. This is not a typical ninja build that you would associate with the theme that revolves around ninjas. But it was still a massive success because it looks amazing. I mean, it has so many features to Ninjago and what came before. It can be split up into these different sections that all look super vibrant and amazing, and they all fit together really well. The top of the building looks nice, and above all, I mean, it just looks fantastic on display, especially if you populate it with minifigures. This feels like a real Ninjago City, and I think that's just what made this set so special. And this set was the first Ninjago City set. We would soon get more sets like the Ninjago City Docks, the Ninjago City Gardens, and the City Markets, and I mean, these just really showed that LEGO wasn't shying away from their adult market anymore. This was a bit after the Temple of Air Jutsu, and I mean, I'm pretty sure any adult Ninjago fan would have absolutely loved getting these sets. So are these the sets that I'm talking about that changed Ninjago? Well, no, not really. Again, these sets felt more like one-time bonuses meant to celebrate something special like the release of a movie or the 10-year anniversary or a brand new show, and LEGO didn't really change their set lineups based on the success of these sets. Now, the fact that they kept this line going showed that LEGO was aware of their adult fan base, which, I mean, might have contributed to their change, but I don't think these sets directly were the reason why Ninjago is a completely different theme today, though they did contribute. And so with that, we come to 2024, which is the year that changes really started to happen with sets like the Dragonstone Shrine. Now, the Dragonstone Shrine, I mean, yes, it came with 6 minifigures. It was technically marketed as a playset, but don't get me wrong, this is obviously supposed to be a display set. Most of the pieces are going into making this build super dense and vibrant and adding to the detail, which most kids wouldn't be interested in. Yes, there are a couple of play features, but they're nowhere as common in this set as some other play sets like the Shadow Dojo, and I mean, this set was definitely more towards just adults who wanted a nice compact display piece to keep on their desk. That being said, this still isn't the set that really changed Ninjago because, well, this set just didn't sell all that well. I found this set personally for $70, and wherever I was looking, this set was at 50% off, 40% off, 20% off, and that's crazy for such a big set. This set was $120. These sets usually never go more than 20% off. So the fact that I got this for $50 off just showed that, I mean, people didn't really want this set. It was a bit too small for the price, and if anything, it kind of validated the opposite. It showed that maybe adults weren't all that interested in Ninjago. But the breakthrough finally came later in 2024 with the set I believe changed Ninjago, and that is Cole's Titan Dragon Mech. Now, what makes this set different from just any other big Ninjago set, in my opinion, is that it is a very kid concept, like a big Ninjago mech. We've seen that 100 times before, but it's more of like an adult take on it. This set is definitely meant to be for adults because, well, I don't really see why a kid would want this. It's definitely big. Most of the budget went into making this mech fantastic, and that's more geared towards adults who just want to put their mech on display and want a cool mech. This set has only one minifigure, which did become a bit controversial, but I believe it was the right decision because the people who want this set, the adults, just want a good display piece, and it makes sense to put the budget into the parts. This set, I think, really emboldened LEGO because this was a pretty successful set, not gonna lie. And because this set was so successful, we got Ninjago Legends. This set also, it sparked a change in Ninjago. Looking at the summer 2025 Ninjago Dragons Rising wave, we have 3 sets that are $100 and more, and one $200 Ninjago set, which is the first non-D2C set at that price, which is kind of crazy for Ninjago. I think that it's only because of the success of Cole's Titan Dragon Mech that LEGO realized that, yeah, fans, adult fans, are interested in adult type sets, not just kids sets that are cheap. And that's really shaped how LEGO's been making their waves. I mean, we get a lot of cheaper sets in the January and March waves, and then we get just these big, beautiful, expensive sets in the summer. And of course, we can't forget Ninjago Legends, the brand new Ninjago sub-theme dedicated to giving us big, beautiful display pieces. I mean, just looking at sets like the Guardian Dragon, the fact that we can get sets like that with no playability, no articulation, one minifigure, just shows the adult demand that Ninjago has. And I think without Cole's Titan Dragon Mech, which was a similar case, LEGO wouldn't have realized that. So in short, I think we're currently seeing the effects of the success of Cole's Titan Dragon Mech, and it's clear that these effects are going to be around for a long time, and I just hope that Ninjago doesn't stray away from kids too much, because I would love for us to have a good balance of both kid sets and adult sets.